So on the board you can see, student, already I have considered a problem, that is a discrete data wherein xi's and fi's are given. Now for this discrete data we will calculate what? We will calculate the mean deviation about median. Okay. So now to calculate, how do you calculate the mean deviation about median? I have said you here clearly. That is median is nothing but L plus n by 2 minus CF by F. Okay. So now it will be this formula, it will be very much applicable for continuous data, but when it comes to discrete data there is a very simple method. I'll just explain you that method. So what is the method? Median, it is equal to, for a discrete data, it is that cumulative frequency, or median is that observation, or you can, in simple way you can write cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency greater than or equal to n by 2. So what is our median? It is that cumulative frequency or the observation of cumulative frequency which is greater than or equal to n by 2. So here I have written a new word here, cumulative frequency. So first let us understand what is that cumulative frequency, and then we will go to our median. So what is cumulative frequency means? Cumulative. Cumulative means considering our previous, we will get our next sum. That is, it is a cumulative sum, you might have heard. That is, it is recurring. I'll take the previous one, add, again to add the next one, again previous sum will be taken and added. It goes on. So the frequency which is added or which is calculated in a cumulative form is nothing but your cumulative frequency. So first let us write what is the cumulative frequency. So here one more column will come, that is cumulative frequency, CF generally we denote. So first observation always it will be written as it is 3 plus 4, what it will be? 7. 7 plus 5, it is 12. Okay, so you will get here 12 plus 2, what you will get? You will get here 14. Okay, 14 plus 4, it is 18. 18 plus 5, it will be nothing but 22. 22 plus 4, it is 26. Somewhere I have not added properly. Okay, so 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 4, 18. 18 plus 5, 22. 22 plus 4, it is 22 plus 4, 26. 26 plus 3, we are getting 29, but you should get the sum as 30. 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 4, 3. So when we have added it is 3, 7, 12, 14, 18, 22, 18, sorry, 23. Okay, so 23 plus 4 it is 27. 27 plus 3 it is 30. How did I get to know that what we have done is wrong? Because when you go on adding this, the final value what you get, it should be equal to n, because our final value will indicate what? The total frequency. So if you have written here 30, here also you should get 30 only. If you are not getting 30, then somewhere you have done wrong. Okay, so now this we did. Now let us go to our median formula. Median is observation or that observation whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n by 2. What is our n in this case? N is 30. So what is n by 2? That is 30 by 2. What is 30 by 2? 15. Okay, so now we need to find the cumulative frequency or the observation whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to 15. Either it should be greater than 15 or at least it should be equal to 15. I'll repeat once again. We need to find an observation. Observation means we Here it is xi. We need to find one xi whose cumulative frequency is either it should be greater than 15, okay, or it should be equal to 15. That is nearing to 15 it should be. Greater than 15 doesn't mean any number. Near, which is the closest to 15, that we will see. Okay, now in your cumulative frequency column, find that cumulative frequency whose frequency or cumulative frequency is nearing to 50. So you can see 12, 14, 14 also I cannot consider. Next what it is? 18. 18 is greater than 15. It is but not equal, but it is almost near to 15. You can see even these all remaining term also they are greater than 15, but which will be nearing to 15 we will take. So which is nearing to 15? 18. So now this we found cumulative frequency, but observation we are speaking. Always you remember mean, mode, median. Always that value lies in these x's, not in anything. Got it? Always your mean will be one of the value of observation. Always your mode will be one of the xi. Median will be one of the xi. Same way here also we calculated now 18. For that 18, what is the corresponding observation? That is 13. So this 13, it will be a median. So what it is? In our case, median is 13. Why it is 13? Because this 13th observation has a cumulative frequency which is greater than 15 or nearing to 15. Okay, so now we have got median. Easily we can calculate what? We can calculate our next step. So what do you want your next step? You want modulus of xi minus m. That is each observation has to be subtracted from this m and its modulus. 3 minus 13, it will be 10. Next 6 minus 13, it is 7. 9 minus 13. I'll just refer the textbook and go on writing it a bit fast. Okay, so it is 10, 7 and it is 4. 12 minus 13, 1. 13 minus 13, 0. 15 minus 13, 2. 21 minus 13, it is 8. And then finally 9. After this one more column comes. That column I write here. That is Fi into modulus of xi minus m. That is frequency will be multiplied to this modulus. So what it is? 3 tens it will be 30. Okay, next after that it will be 28, 20 and 2, 0, 10, 32 and finally 27. And we want the summation of these all values. So what will be the sum of these all values? It is equal to 149. Okay, so now we have got to know all. Just substitute in the formula and calculate. What is mean deviation about median equal to? It is summation of Fi into modulus of xi minus m whole divided by n. So what is summation of modulus of xi minus m? It is 149. And what is the total frequency? It is 30. So what you will get your final answer? 4.97. Okay. So this is all regarding to find the mean deviation about median for a discrete data. Now let us once again revise. Okay. So what it is? We have been given a discrete data. For that discrete data, you need to find the mean deviation about median. Okay, so to calculate that, first we should know what is median. But what is our median formula? It is that observation whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n by 2. So to calculate median, we should know what is cumulative frequency. So we have calculated the cumulative frequency. That is how we have calculated. First we term as it is, then we have went on adding and writing the cumulative frequency. What case should you take? Always our last observation value should be equal to the total frequency. So once these all cumulative frequency is done, we will find what is n by 2, that is 15. So we will find a frequency, cumulative frequency which is nearing to 15. So it is 18. Its observation will be our median. So once we know our median, what we will do? We will calculate the deviation, then Fi into deviations and finally substitute and we will get your answer. I hope everyone is clear median for an discrete data. How to use this formula? Whenever a continuous data comes, I'll be explaining you. Okay, so these problems will become perfect with the practice. So different problem you can try to understand the formulas better. Okay, so now discrete is done. In discrete, what did we learn? How to calculate mean deviation about mean deviation about median, right? So with these two formulas, now what we will do? We will consider in our next step continuous data. So let us continue with our discussion. That is, so now we have, you can see on the board, we have considered a continuous data. So till now we have studied how to find the mean deviation about mean and median for a discrete data. So now what we will do? We will study the mean deviation about mean and median for what? For a continuous data. So as already I have made you clear, whether it is discrete or continuous, the main formula remains the same. How to find the mean deviation, right? So now if the formula is remaining the same, so now what will be the change in solving process? Let us understand. So what does our formula says? That is, for example, let us consider for this class interval or continuous data. What you have to calculate? You have to calculate the mean deviation about mean. So what is the formula for mean deviation about mean? It is summation of fi into modulus of xi minus x bar divided by n. Now mean we can calculate with this formula, but that which has to be subtracted from each xi, you can see that it is not visible to you, but it can be calculated using given data. That is, using given data we can calculate what is these xi. So that is the only extra part in continuous data. That is, xis will be not directly given. You have to calculate the xis, and the remaining process it remains the same as in case of discrete. Now let us understand how to calculate these xis. Okay, so xis, it is always middle point of this interval. That is, for example, 10 to 20. So what is the middle point? It will be 15. You might be thinking, how did you calculate, ma'am? Just use your common sense. 10 plus 20, 30. 30 divided by 2. It is nothing but 15. How do you calculate your midpoint? The first point and the last point divided by 2 will give you the midpoint. Same way. 10 plus 20 divided by 2. It is 15. Here it will be 25. Next 35, 45, 55, 65 and 75. Remaining all process remains the same. So next we need to calculate mean. To calculate mean we want summation of fi into xi. So our column will be fi into xi. Okay, so it will be 30, 70. mean, it is equal to summation of fi into modulus of xi minus x bar divided by capital N. So what is the total sum? 400. And what is capital N? 40. So 0 0 will get cancelled. 4 ones are 4 tens are. So what is our final answer? It is 10. So 10 means nothing but the mean deviation about mean for a given continuous data. I hope everyone has got to know what is the difference for discrete and continuous. Only one extra column will come, that is xi. You have to calculate xi and the remaining process it is same as discrete. Okay, so after this there is one more method, but as and when the problem come I will be explaining you. I have said you. You can see that these xi's are very much big. So where did you have the problem? You had the problem while calculating this column fi into xi, right? So to calculate fi into xi, what we had to do? If you are very well with the table, easily you will be calculating. Otherwise, again you should take the help of calculator. That is 15 into 2, 25 into 3, 35 into 8. So this, it will be a little more work. It is not complicated, but the work little it will increase. So now to solve this problem, there is one more method to find mean deviation about mean. Okay, using step deviation method. Okay, here only one more step will be extra added. Apart from that, everything remains the same. That is, we will reduce these x's. That is the only difference using step deviation method. So now let us understand that what is that step deviation method with the help of same problem. That is, let us see how the same problem can be solved using step deviation method. Okay, so now these x's, they can be reduced using step deviation method. That is, these x's will become di with a change what? Xi minus a divided by h or c. In different textbook, in different way they have considered. So let us see in our textbook what they have considered. It is h itself. Okay, so what does that actually mean? I'll explain you. Okay, we have calculated xi. Next, xi's we already know. What are this? This is that column a. Here a means assumed mean. This is what it is, assumed mean. That is, among these all xi's we will consider any one value and we will consider it as that is only mean. We will assume the mean, but you should be very careful while assuming that mean. How careful? Like, what do you mean by careful means here? You need to choose that xi which will be middlemost, at the most middlemost. Okay, some cases if it is not odd or even, in case of even we cannot choose, in case of odd you can easily choose. If x's are odd, easily you can choose. If x's are even, then you can take the middlemost or any one of that. So now you see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 are there, right? So which is the middlemost value? It is 45. So what will be our 45? That will be our assumed mean a. Next, divided by h, it is written. H is nothing but the class interval. What is the width of this class interval? So between 10 to 20, how many observations are there? 10. 20 to 30, 10. 30 to 40, 10. So everywhere the class width is what? 10. So what is this? H equal to it is 10. So now we will calculate di with this formula. That is, we are deviating these values to di using changing scale and length. This you don't have to worry. This you don't have for the study. Only you can change x's to di using step deviation method. You have to remember this is more than enough. So now let us calculate what are these Symmetrical means if the data is cut into two halves, both the halves or both the parts, they look like one at the same. So then such a data it is called as symmetrical data. So here as the data is symmetrical, so you are getting the summation as 0. Okay. So now after this we have to calculate what? We have to calculate mean. What was our regular formula to calculate mean? X bar is equal to summation of fi into xi divided by n. But here the formula changes only if we are using step deviation method. What will be our mean formula? Our mean formula will become x bar is equal to a plus summation of fi into di divided by n. So let me see in your textbook also the same notation is given or no. Into h. Okay. So this is given. What is your mean formula? It is a plus summation of fi divided by n into h. So let us calculate what will be the mean. Because after knowing the mean only we can calculate the deviation. Deviation multiplied by frequency, then you will get your final answer. Okay, so now what will be mean? It is a. What is our a in this case? It is 45 plus. What is summation of fi into di? This is summation of fi into di. What is the summation of fi into di? 0 divided by n is 40 into h is 10. So here this part will become 0 only. So what is our mean? Mean is 45. So just now we have solved the same problem without step deviation method, right? So had you got their mean as 45? Yes. So here also we have got the mean as 45. Now we know the mean. Our next process will become very much easy. So what do you need to calculate? Modulus of xi minus x bar. So it is 15 minus 45. It is nothing but 30, right? So as it is a modulus, positive it will become. Okay, next it will be 20, 10, 0, 10, 20, 30. And finally our next column. What is our next column? It is fi into, I'll write here. Okay, fi into modulus of xi minus x bar. Okay, so it same thing it will repeat from our previous problem itself. That is fi into modulus of xi minus x bar. 2 into 30, 60. 3 into 20, 60. Next, 80. Finally 0, 80, 60 and 60. So what was the total sum we had got last time? It was 400. Now we know the sum. Just calculate what? We will calculate the mean deviation about mean. So what is the mean deviation about mean formula? Summation of fi into xi minus x bar divided by n. So what is our sum here? 400. And what is our frequency? 40. So 400 divided by 40. That is mean deviation about mean. It is 400 divided by 40, which is again equal to 10. So is this the same value what we had got for the problem we just now discussed before this? Yes. So they both are one at the same. So what is the major difference between our previous method and this method? If the values of xi's are too big, they can be reduced to di using step deviation method. Okay. And one more thing what you should take care is your mean. That is mean formula changes to a plus summation fi into di divided by n into h. So only these two formula will extra they will come. After that the remaining process it remains the same. I hope everyone is clear how to calculate mean deviation about mean for an continuous data. Now as you might have seen, we have studied here how many methods? Two methods. One is direct method. The another one is step deviation method. Our regular method is direct method. And the second method what we have solved here it is step deviation method. Any method you can follow and solve. And generally step deviation method is used whenever xi's are large. Let us assume that if they were 1, 2, 3, 8. If such numbers are there, no need to go for step deviation. Even in the question or in exam also it depends. If they have asked you to find, they have just said find the mean deviation about mean and continuous data is given. Let us assume. If nothing is continuous data. Now next what we will do? We will find the mean deviation about median for again an continuous data. Okay. So now let us consider one more problem. Okay, so here it is given calculate the mean deviation about median for the following data. So it is a continuous data. I hope everyone might have got to know how to identify continuous data, discrete data, ungrouped data, right? So if only observations are given, then it is a ungrouped data. If observation along with the frequencies are given and the observations are discrete or single values, then it is a discrete data. If the observation and frequencies are given and the observations are in the form of class interval, then it is a continuous data. So depending upon the data, what you will do? You will use the formula and go on solving. Okay. So now the given data, class intervals are given. It is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and finally 50 to 60. And frequencies are given. The frequencies are 6, 7, 15, 16, 4, 2. Okay. You need to find the mean deviation about median. So what is our mean deviation about median formula? Summation of fi into modulus of xi minus f divided by n. But what is our median formula? L plus n by 2 minus cf divided by f. You can see here cumulative frequency is there. So next step will be here to calculate cumulative frequency itself. Okay, first before that, what will be the total frequency here? The total frequency will be 50. So cumulative frequency. So what it is? 6 as it is. 6 plus 7. Okay, it will be 13. 13 plus 15. It will be 28. 28 plus 16. Okay, it will be 52. If I am not wrong. 52 or 50. 44. Right, sorry. It will be 44. 44 plus 4. It is 48. 48 plus 2. 50. They both are tallying. Right. So now this is done. Next, to know median, you should know what is L, what is CF, what is F. N is already known to us. What is N? N is 50. Okay. So now to calculate these all, let us go to one more step. That is, before calculating what is median, you should know what is median class. So I'll just write for you what is this median class mean. Okay. So median class, it is nothing but, okay, it is that class interval. In short form, I'll write class interval as CI. It is that class interval whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n by 2. That is, it is median class is that class interval whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n by 2. Okay, so now first we should know what is n by 2. What is n by 2? N is 50 divided by 2. So what it is? 25. So in cumulative frequency column, we need to find a cumulative frequency which is greater than or equal to n by 2. That is, it should be either greater than 25 or equal to 25. Greater than 25 means nearing to 25. So which is a cumulative frequency which is nearing to 25 here? It is 28. So median class will be what? This class will be the median class. Sorry, I marked it wrong. Okay, so this is the median class. So how to 25, so nearing to 25. Nearing means greater than 25 but almost close to 25, that is 28. So this will be our median class. So with the help of these all, we will get to know what are these values. So let us go one by one. Here L is written. L is the lower limit of median class. So this is your median class. Which is the lower limit? It is 20. Always this will be the lower limit. Upper, lower, upper, lower, upper. So what is our L here? It is 20. Okay. So what is L? The lower limit of median class. Next, N we know. CF, cumulative frequency. You will consider that cumulative frequency which is preceding to the median class. Preceding means before to median class. That cumulative frequency you will consider. So which is a preceding to median class? This one. What is cumulative frequency here? 13. So this is the CF. Next, frequency. Here frequency will be nothing but it is the frequency of that median class. So this is F. And one more thing. Here one more thing I have missed out. It is H. HL is already known to you. Width of the class interval. It is not only median class. It is width of all. So here everywhere the width is 10. Okay. So now we know all the values. Let us substitute and find. What is M? So what is our median formula? Median is equal to L plus N by 2 minus CF divided by F into H. Okay, or it is L is 20 plus N by 2 is 25 minus CF is how much? 13 divided by F is 15 into what is H? It what is a median class? It is that class interval whose cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n by 2. Because knowing median class, you will get all these values. Substituting that, you will get your median. Remaining all process, it remains the same. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with the continuous frequency distribution. In that, how to calculate the mean deviation about mean and mean deviation about median. So let us once recall all the things what we have studied till now. Okay, so we had totally how many type of data? 2, ungrouped and grouped. In ungrouped data, mean deviation about mean and median we got to know how to calculate. And in grouped data, we are again having two types, discrete and continuous. So we got to know for both the type of data how to calculate mean deviation about mean and mean deviation about median. But when it came to continuous data, we could see that mean deviation about mean could be calculated by two methods, direct and step deviation. In the direct method, it is as usual, but in a step deviation, we will deviate exercise to di and the formula of mean changes. So this is all the gist what it is required to solve your exercise 15.1. Okay, so now in exercise 15.1 what we will be doing? We will be solving all the kind of problem. Here we studied under single topic, grouped, ungrouped. These all we had like classified and we studied, but in exercise it will be all clubbed together. First thing, you should be able to identify which type of data it is. Soon after that, you should be able to write the formula. After writing the formula, automatically you will get to know how the columns will come or what you have to calculate, and finally your answer. Okay, I hope everyone is clear with this complete